Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome back to yet another interesting episode on your Little Sla YouTube channel. So, today in this video, we are going to see an integration between JMeter and LoadRunner. So, in fact, in one of our previous videos, I remember like it's a year back. So, what did I do is I have converted a JMeter script, or sorry, a LoadRunner script to JMeter, and we executed it. For example, like what I'm trying to say is when we migrate, the business or the client wants to migrate their load runner scripts to JMeter, we were able to migrate them. And in fact, let me show you real quick. So it's converting your JMeter script. So yep, here it is. Yeah, here you can see which is converting our load runner scripts to JMeter script, and it is in fact it has been posted like 2 years back, exactly like 2 years back, and I've got a lot of views, and thanks for your support as well. So now in this video, we are going to see. Like I in fact have posted a lot of other integrations as well, converting the Postman API to JMeter and converting uh, NeoLoad script to JMeter, and like lots and lots of other experiments also uh, was posted for your like again Postman script or neoload script. Yep, so lots and lots of other experiments were also there, and a lot of requests has also been answered. So now in this video, I'm going to show you how to run your JMeter script to the controller. So there is no conversion, nothing at all. I'm going to create a JMeter script, and then I'm going to run that script using the load runner controller. So what is the advantage of doing this? So one thing is you have a steady controller uh, comparing to the JMeter, the Java framework of running the uh, test. Comparing to that, load runner, you have a very strong framework where you won't need to worry about whether the test might stop running during the middle of your execution. So in fact, there are like a lot of other advantages. We will see them throughout the video, but for now I'm going to show you how to create your basic JMeter script, and then how are we going to run that JMeter script to the using the controller. So the reason I want to take this is again from the scratch is there are several controllers or several parts of the JMeter which are not supported by LoadRunner. So I'm going to show you how to or like what are all the components that supports, and what are all the in fact I would say the thread group. Again, yeah, we might have asked a question, right? For example, people might ask you a question. Again, this would again answer your question of if you want to run a stress test. You have your JMeter script, but you want to run your stress test, you can very well run it, because LoadRunner gives you the option where you can immediately add more users to your controller or to the scripts, right? So lots and lots of other options are available when you start exploring the existing tools. So now, yeah, let's see. First, I'll take you through a very basic recording, and then I will run that through the load runner, and then we will see how does it work. So yeah, before we move on to this video, this is me, Asan Shanmugam. I welcome you all to our Little Sly YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed it yet, and please do join my channel for more interesting videos and discounts on the trainings and early access to the videos, and for any one-to-one questions, for any queries, for any support, you can take the membership and you can very well connect with me. And yeah, with no further delay, let's go to the video. And for now, I'm going to create a script, and we all know creating a script is just an easy task. So what did I do is I have my HTTPS test recorder with the port number ready. I have a thread group, and I have a browser with the localhost setup, and let me remove this one, and let me go back to my thread group. Let's start the recording. So I'm start. Okay. Okay. Use recording control. Okay. Let me add. Okay. let's add a thread group, or let me add a controller, a simple controller. Coming back to this one, let me use a simple controller, save it, and let's start the recording now. Yep, and starting with the first transaction, which is the landing page. Going back to the Mozilla Firefox and then entering the store. Second one is click sign in. Then the third step is enter cred and login. So someone has actually changed the 1 password. So because of that, I was not able to create, or I was not able to log in. So if somebody knows the password for the credential one, username one, please do let me know in the comment. Otherwise, it's fine, no problem. And let me log in. And now I'm going to just log out, because this is just again a sample script for you to demo the scenarios and the JMeter integration. So I'm going to sign out. Yep, that's done. I'm going to stop the scripting, and so now you can see I have the scripts ready. And let's do a quick um, validation to make sure that there are no any errors. Overwrite existing file in the view results tree. Yep, everything looks fine. There are no errors in the script, so everything looks fine, right? And yep. So the next part we will use. I'm going to open the controller. Go to File, New. Under the manual scenario, I'm going to add the scripts onto the scripts. In fact, you can do even system or unit test if you have any. You can test your JMeter scripts. You can test your Gatling scripts if you have. I mean, we'll see that in our upcoming videos how to test the Gatling scripts as well. And then if you have any Selenium scripts as well, yeah, you can even test your Selenium scripts here. And then if you have any Silk Performer, again, Silk Performer and LoadRunner are integrated, so it's like part and parcel of LoadRunner. But for now, our JMeter is the main topic that we are discussing here. So I'm going to click on JMeter scripts, and that will show you some of the scripts. And if you don't find your scripts, just click on browse and open your scripts. For now, I have my script one. Yep, I believe that's the script. Yeah, it's script1.jmx. I have it here. So I'm going to select my script1.jmx, click add, and now I got my script here. And when I click OK, my script will get opened here. And in case if I want to make any changes to it, again, yeah. So when I double click on this script name, I'll be taken to this group information where I can see the group name, I can see the script name, and the LoadRunner is going to be my local host. And if I want to click view script, I can view the XML format. So basically what the LoadRunner does is it runs your XML file. It runs the XML file of your JMeter script. And then the runtime settings. So in fact, if you want to set up, make any changes to the runtime settings, you can do it here. It shows suspicious file detected because this is again a new one to my system. So yep, this file new script rtsceditor.exe is something which is a cross between the LoadRunner and the neoload. Okay, let me just close it. Yep, I think it has got open. So this is the runtime settings of the JMeter, and here I have the using internal logic to locate the JRE. That will locate the JRE for execution, and then for the pacing, so how many iterations I have to run, it can be set up here. After the previous iteration ends, how many seconds do I need to keep up, I mean like between each iteration, so I can even set it up here. And for now, I'm going to just choose, yeah, let's just choose this part, the one iterations thing. Sorry, 1 minute after every iterations. And yeah, let me make it to 30 because like 60 is too much of time. Let me save it. Then let me close this, and then click on more. In case if you have any renderers, you can choose it here. And if you have any other users, if you have any files, so these are the files that are related to this particular script that we have created. And then the another part here is script 1.jmx, and yeah, I want to add at least like 20 users, right? And click OK. So now I have 20 users test. Let me remove this one, the first one here. Let me remove this part. Yep, and now only I have the JMeter script with 20 users, and this is going to be the test setup. So let me just reduce it. I don't want to like take too much of your time. So it's just going to be 5 seconds for ramp up, and the test I'm going to run it for like 2 minutes. Apply OK, and the ramp down is going to be like 5 seconds for each user. So overall the test is going to be like for 5 minutes. And let me click OK. And yeah, so what do we have now? I just have only simple four transaction controller, simple four requests, right? And that has the landing pages, the sign in, the enter credential and login, the sign out, right? That's it, nothing else. So let me go back and let's start the test and let's wait. How does it work? So yep, the user has started to run because that's how we have set it up. So now it should be around like 4 or 5 users. And in fact, if you want to see any of these graphs, you can very well see them, like transactions per second, and some of the other things, like in case if you have any monitors, you can very well watch them from here. But for now, I'm just fine with the transaction. Okay, let me just remove these part transactions per second passed, and then yeah, this should be fine. So here you can see the users ramping up, the throughput for the whole test. And yeah, so far we have crossed like 373 requests. And yeah, it's just running like anything because we have not set up the think time. Yes, since we have not set up any think time, we were like shooting out lots and lots of requests to the application. But I think it's quite dangerous. But still, let's wait for some more seconds, and then I'll stop the test because I don't want to ruin the application. But here again, you can see the transactions per second passed for each transaction, and the minimum, the average, and the maximum response times for each of these transactions. And they were like growing high because we were giving a lot of hits to the application. So yeah, the very basic thing is we have to add think time, but the next part is which think time will work with the load runner. So that's what we're going to see now. So I'm going to stop the test, stop the scenario. And in fact, in many of my previous experiences, some of the controllers or some of the timers did not work out with LoadRunner. So that's the reason I will take you through this part very slowly. So now I'm going to add the think time. So here you can see add think times to children. So just going to select the simple controller, and then I'm going to select add think times to children. So that will add think time to all the transactions. And what is the think time here? So how much time do I'm going to pass in milliseconds? I'm going to choose like 5,000 or like 10,000 milliseconds, which is going to be like 10 seconds. So for in between each transactions, I'm going to wait for 10 seconds, or I'm going to delay, or the think time is mainly 10 seconds. So let me add this, save it. And before I move on to LoadRunner, let me do a quick check and see how does it work. So let me do a quick validate. Override existing file. Coming to the view results tree, let me clear everything and let's wait. So for now we have one user, and so for the test I have crossed 15 seconds, so which is like the first transaction, and then a 10 seconds wait, and then yep, so it looks like after every 10 seconds I could see new transactions coming in. So 20, 29, 30, yep, so 30. So it shows like the think time that we have added works fine. So I think by 40, we should be getting our next transaction. Yes. Okay, it looks like the okay. So overall, we have added 10 seconds for each transaction, and then the test has executed for one iteration for just 40 seconds, so which means our think time is working fine. So let me save this and let me go back to the LoadRunner, and let me remove the group and let me add it again. So going back to script1.jmax, 20 users, click OK, and everything else is same. Let's start the, okay, let me reduce the, okay, let it run. So let me start the execution, click yes. So now we have added a think time of like 40 seconds for each iteration. So based on that, there will be a lot of delays and there will be a good amount of pacing. So now you can see we have like got around 3 users inside the system, 4 users, they are coming in real quick. Let's wait for a few more seconds to see how much of transactions we're getting. Yeah, the first transaction, the landing page has landed into the system. And now if you see the response times were very less because we are giving enough space or enough amount of uh, queue length to the system. So the system behaves very well. In fact, that's how it behave for the real world users. So far, what did we do? So we have created a user, we have created a script with a simple controller. The simple controller works. So that's one thing you have to remember. So simple controller works with LoadRunner, and your transactions works, and then your think time works, not the think time controller. Your think time works. So how did I add a think time? Is I just went into the thread group. I did add think times to the children, and that think time worked. And I added a 10 seconds of duration, a 10 seconds of pass for each transaction. And now, so far, let's go to the controller and see how does it work. Yep, so far everything goes fine. I've got 60 transactions. I believe it will be like around 15 each. Yeah, around 23 to 15 of maximum average each. And no, nothing, touch wood, nothing is failed so far. And everything works fine. And yeah, we are about, I think it would take few more seconds to complete the test. And each transaction takes its own time since we are running with like around 20 users. And this much amount of hits is a decent amount of hits because if you see here, we were uh, we are getting about like zero point 0.4 TPS for each of these requests, which is like when it says zero point 0.4 TPS and multiplying it with 3600, like it's less than around like 1200 hits per hour, like close to 1000 hits per hour. So that's actually a decent amount of hits, I would say, with the 20 users of test. So again, like if you want to increase your TPS, you can very well do it. But for now, our objective is to see how does the JMeter script works with LoadRunner. So if you have your JMeter scripts and if you have your LoadRunner setup, and you can very well run, you can very well use your LoadRunner framework, you can very well use your LoadRunner infrastructure to run your tests, but with certain limitations, I would say, because I will take you through those steps one by one and will show you what happens when you are running different controllers or different plugins, because some of those plugins would not be supported or not supported by LoadRunner. And yep, so the reason I'm waiting for the test to get completed is I can even take you through the analysis part as well, and I can show you. But let's wait for a few more seconds to see how does the test gets end. I mean, like it's not just about only the ramp up; it's also about the steady state and also about the ramp down. So everything is part and parcel of your test. So make sure you understand each and every step. It's not about just starting it; it's about taking through the test and doing the test very well. And in fact, if you want to add any users, you can very well add it to the test as well. Like for example, if you want to add like run or stop V users, you can very well do that. So if you see, if you want to add any users, you can run it, or if you want to stop, you can very well stop those users as well. But for now, let's wait until these tests get completed. So yep, we are in the ramp down part now, and slowly the users are will ramp down. And yeah, here you can see the users are slowly ramping down, and the transaction response times were initially high for one of the transaction. That's for landing page, and then it slowly reached a saturation. I mean, like slowly it reached a saturation point where the response times were like in a proper fashion. And the hits per second, yeah, during the ramp up it is quite less, and then during the steady state it went into the normal manner. So you have to understand all these parts. So you have to make sure that the throughput and the response time, the hits per second, should be in the same rhythm. It should not go higher, it should not fall deep. So if there is some uh, differences, then that is again a bottleneck. So you have to make sure that you are watching these very well. You have to observe these because they have a lot of information for you in terms of performance testing and in terms of performance engineering. Yep, I believe the test is about to end. And yeah, we have just one more user in the system, the very last user. And after this one, we will see how, like we'll try to do multiple things. Like, in fact, we can let's add the parameterization as well, and we'll try some more part. So please don't forget to watch our next video. So in our next video, I will show you how to, I mean, like I'll parameterize, I'll do the correlation. I will, first part is I'm going to parameterize and then we'll run that script and then we'll do the correlation and then we'll run the script. We'll do that real quick. Will not take too much of time in execution, but we'll see how does the parameterization and correlation works from the JMeter to the LoadRunner, and this will definitely help you uh, if you are a JMeter and LoadRunner user. So until we meet in our next videos, bye bye from Asan Shanmugam and your favorite Little Star YouTube channel. Take care and bye bye.